Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Dak Prescott ripped as unreliable, not cut out to lead Cowboys by NFL Insider. The Dallas Cowboys are hoping to bounce back from a disappointing 2024 NFL campaign that was plagued by several injuries to star players on both sides of the ball. After the team completed a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers for star wide receiver George Pickens, there are high hopes for the Dallas offense. However, it will all come down to how Dak Prescott is able to return from his season-ending injury. Bleacher Report's Brad Gagnon recently dropped one sentence to describe every team's quarterback room following the NFL draft, and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys got a less-than-flattering review. Prescott was described as unreliable and not cut out to lead the Cowboys by Gagnon. Dak Prescott is unreliable and not cut out to lead this franchise deep into the playoffs, but they're pretty much handcuffed to him for the next 2 years, he wrote. The review is unnecessarily harsh for a player who was an NFL MVP runner-up just 2 seasons ago. Dallas will be hoping to see that version of Prescott back on the field after he gets back to 100%. Last season, before his injury, Prescott threw for only 1,978 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. His 86 QB rating was the lowest of his professional career. Former Cowboys coach and quarterback Jason Garrett still pulls for all things Dallas, of course, but as an analyst, he has always played things straight. And while acknowledging that the Cowboys are rolling the dice on adding star receiver George Pickens from the Steelers, he said he has a lot of faith in the notion that it will work. And that faith stems from number 4. Dak Prescott key to making Cowboys, George Pickens work, Garrett said. If you look at their team, I think they got a lot of good weapons, Garrett told Pro Football Talk. For me, the whole thing works because of the quarterback. Dak can work with anybody, he'll bring the best out in everybody. Cowboys have one big area of concern in their roster, analyst says. The Dallas Cowboys are riding high on a stellar 2025 NFL draft, one that saw the team getting good grades from NFL analysts and experts after the action wrapped up. Chad Reuter of the NFL gave the team an A for their 2025 draft class. Reuter was pleased with the team's early pick of Tyler Booker, noting, the Cowboys bypassed the available offensive skill position players and defensive talent at number 12 to replace the retired Zach Martin with Booker, adding that the former Alabama guard is a proven starter out of the SEC, but, in a little warning, that he did not impress in athletic testing this spring. Regardless of what critics think of the Dallas Cowboys draft choices, it's time to look ahead. The team has stellar guys like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, but one analyst thinks the Cowboys have one remaining hole they need to fill before next season. In a May 8 piece for PFF, Trevor Sikkema lays out the biggest remaining need for all 32 NFL teams following the draft. The 2025 NFL Draft represented one of the final opportunities for NFL teams to plug their roster holes before the season begins, he stated in the piece. With that said, we're taking a look at every team's biggest remaining roster need as the summer nears. For the Cowboys, he urges the team to beef up their interior defensive line. He even says it's a big area of concern. Motzie Smith and Osa Odigizua are once again the Cowboys' starting defensive tackles after struggling in run defense last year with 35.9 and 50.8 PFF run defense grades, respectively, he noted in the feature. Dallas added Solomon Thomas, but he earned just a 41.5 PFF run defense grade with the Jets last season. That position group in run defense is a big area of concern for 2025. Jordan Raanan of ESPN also has a May 8 story out about the biggest post-draft roster gaps for all 32 NFL teams. Most teams have filled the top of their depth charts. But plenty of units have limited depth, even after all the wheeling and dealing. For the Dallas Cowboys, Jordan Raanan wants the team to add cornerback depth for the new season. He does praise the Cowboys for some of their off-season choices, though. The biggest hole was wide receiver, but that was solved with the George Pickens trade, Raanan stated in the piece. So let's pivot to cornerback. Darren Bland and Trayvon Diggs are strong starters, but there are questions about whether Diggs will be ready to start the season after surgery late last year to repair cartilage damage in his left knee. He added, there are also health questions about the number 3 corner, third-round rookie Siobhan Revel Jr. He was thought to be a first-round talent but fell because of an ACL tear. Depth is poor if Diggs or Revel isn't ready for Week 1. Cowboys still have eyes on another wide receiver even after Pickens' trade. Just when Cowboys fans thought the wide receiver hunt was over, new whispers suggest it might not be. Yes, Dallas landed George Pickens. A big-bodied, explosive receiver who could finally give CeeDee Lamb the support he needs. But what if we told you? Pickens might not have been the only wideout on their radar. According to league insider Jordan Schultz, before finalizing the Pickens deal, the Cowboys quietly reached out to the Baltimore Ravens about Rashod Bateman, a former first-round pick with untapped potential and a contract that runs through 2026. Sources say the conversation between the teams didn't go far, but here's where it gets interesting. Some believe that Dallas' interest in Bateman may not be entirely off the table. While Pickens has the flash and the highlight reels, Bateman offers something different. He's steady, disciplined, and coming off a career year with 756 yards and 9 touchdowns. More importantly, he's durable again. After injury setbacks early in his career, Bateman hasn't missed a game in 2 full seasons. And here's what really catches attention, his deal. Bateman is under contract for 2 more seasons at just $6.4 million per year. That's a bargain in today's wide receiver market. Compare that to Pickens, who's only signed through 2025, and you start to see why some in the Cowboys front office might still be thinking ahead. Could Dallas be hedging their bets? It's possible. With no long-term extension yet in place for Pickens, the Cowboys may be keeping tabs on other wide receivers' options if talks stall, or if Pickens doesn't live up to expectations. Bateman, with his route-running polish and locker room stability, could be exactly the type of player Dallas pivots to if needed. So while George Pickens might be the move for now, don't be surprised if the Cowboys circle back to a familiar name down the road. Because where there's smoke, especially in Dallas, there's usually fire.